As an alternative to marriage, the civil partnership is a legal way for two people of the same or opposite sex to have their relationship legally recognised. However, just like marriages, civil partnerships can break down. If a couple in a civil partnership decide to separate, how does the process work? Associate Solicitor Hannah Porter is with me to explain. Hannah, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Now, how do the rights of couples in a civil partnership differ from married couples?
Actually, couples in a civil partnership have exactly the same rights as married couples, and the process for dissolution of a civil partnership is very similar to the process of divorce. The main difference is that you cannot use the reason of adultery if you're dissolving a civil partnership.
Are there any requirements for a dissolution?
You've got to have been in a civil partnership for at least 1 year before it's dissolved, but apart from that, no.
And what reasons can be used?
There are 4 reasons. The first is that your partner has behaved unreasonably and you have to provide maybe 3 or 4 examples of that. Alternatively, there's 2 years separation with consent, and that is simply that your partner has to sign a form consenting to the dissolution, or you've got 5 years without consent. So if you've been separated for 5 years, you can dissolve your civil partnership without the consent of your partner, or there's desertion if your partner has deserted you.
Okay, and what is the process?
So the process is fairly straightforward. Your application for a dissolution would be sent to the court. The court will then pronounce your conditional order. After that, you can then apply for your final order, but you must wait 6 weeks and 1 day from the court producing your conditional order before you're allowed to apply for that.
Does the new no-fault divorce apply to civil partnerships too?
Yes, it does. So from April 2022, you don't have to use any of the reasons that I've just explained. Both parties can apply together on the basis of no fault to dissolve their civil partnership. One party can still apply by themselves on the basis of no fault, but on a no fault dissolution, it doesn't allow the other partner to contest the dissolution of the civil partnership.
So how long does it take to get a civil partnership dissolution order?
So it sort of depends how quickly everybody returns their documents, but as long as everybody sort of deals with things promptly, it'll take about 4 to 6 months. Under the new no-fault divorce legislation, you do have to wait 20 weeks before getting that conditional order.
So are there any potential issues to be aware of?
Yes, there are. There may be disagreements about children if you've got children together, and who should spend time with them, who they should live with. Similarly, if you have financial assets, then you're going to need to think about how you divide those between yourselves, and it's really important that that is done before you get that final order.
So how can a lawyer help?
So a lawyer can help because they know the process, they're an expert in the field, and they can take that stress away from you. You can go and fill in the forms by yourself, but there's always a margin for error, and if there's an error, then it's going to slow the process down, and that time frame that I talked about, that will increase if there's problems and the court have to send the documents back. Similarly, if there are finances, which there will be, even if there's not joint finances, it is really important to get that financial order separating your matters financially, and that's something that a lawyer can help with, and it's much more difficult to do that part by yourself.
Okay, and this is the final question. Is there life after dissolution?
Of course there's life after dissolution. Oftentimes the process is difficult and emotionally draining, but you get to the other side and you're away from that relationship that did not work for whatever reason, and you can go on to find yourself as a single person, or even find love again, and we often hear stories from happy clients, and that's always very rewarding.
We like that. We do
like that.
Well, Hannah, thank you very much for your time today.
You're very welcome.
Dissolution can be incredibly complex, especially if children are involved. Seeking specialist legal advice will help you understand the nuances of your situation and help you face the future with confidence.